Well, welcome to Focus Today. It's a delight to have back with us today Neil McCabe. He's the regular contributor to Human Events magazine and the editor of Human Events Guns and Patriots newsletter. And so enjoyed our conversation last time with him. Neil, nice to have you back today.
Hey, good morning.
Good to see you. Hey, listen, so many questions, but let's get into this Petraeus thing. I want to find out who he is at the moment. I mean, he's no longer employed by the CIA, and he is a retired four-star general. So is he a free citizen at this point?
Well, he's kind of a free citizen. It's a little different. A four-star general is a little different from a five-star general. A five-star general never goes off active duty, which is why when President Eisenhower left the White House, he immediately went home and raised the five-star flag at his farm, and he was a five-star general on active duty till the end of his life. As a four-star general in retirement status, Petraeus still retains his commission. He's still on the books, and what we think of as a pension is actually a retainer, because he can be recalled at any time from retirement. So he is still on the books as an Army officer.
All right, so can he be disciplined as one?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're in this sort of retirement status, you're still subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. But it would be rare, and there's no, usually in the military when someone's on a retired status, they're dealt with sort of a light touch.
Okay. Now, this whole mess is just, first of all, extremely sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tragedy, especially, guys like myself who served in Iraq, who are huge fans of not just General Petraeus's military genius and leadership, but the sort of what we saw as a man of great moral integrity. It's still stunning for us. I guess as I reflect on it, some good that might come of this is that when other people look at the damage that Broadwell and Petraeus have done to their families and the terrific damage they've done to our national security and stature around the world, this would give other people a pause before they thought they would go into some kind of risky relationship like this.
All right, I guess we could talk about all of that, but my real concern is now, apparently he has agreed to testify tomorrow, and so under what basis is he testifying? As a citizen?
Well, he's a private citizen. He's in a retired status, so he wouldn't be appearing in uniform, but he's still governed by the same sort of executive privilege and other things that would have governed him if he was a CIA director. He's still governed by any agreements that he signed to guard classified information. I would suspect that he still retains his security clearance. That's something that you carry with you. It's a good thing that he's appearing before these panels. Certainly the House Republicans are very angry with him because he gave them the videotape story just days after Benghazi. So if he didn't volunteer to speak before the Republicans in the House, they were going to bring him to the Capitol in chains.
All right, so now tomorrow he's free to say what he wants to say. I realize this is speculative, but it would appear to me that this is his one moment to redeem whatever legacy or image he may have by coming clean. Do you think he'll do it?
Well, a lot of us are hoping so, and I think so. I really believe that he's a man who is duty-bound, which is why he himself went to Libya to find out what was happening on the ground. He conducted, by all accounts, an intensive, personally led investigation in Benghazi. And so, he put out that video story, and we can speculate as to why he did that. He may have been trying to be a team player, but it's a chance for him to dial back some of the misinformation that went out there. It's a time to set the record straight, and it's also a time to maybe get some personal redemption. He's hurt a lot of people, and he's done a lot of damage to his country, but this is a chance for him to make it right.
All right. Now, if you look at the Benghazi thing, Neil, from what the president seems to be defending, in other words, that it was this video thing, and then, yeah, it's an act of terrorism. But what else is out there that would stop this administration from coming clean, even if there were some mistakes made? It appears that there's something else they're trying to cover up. Any idea what that may be?
Well, I think you've hit a very critical point. because, frankly, our mission in Benghazi is over. Obviously, we have concerns about classified information and security for ongoing military or security operations or operations that would endanger our people. So we want to be very careful with information that might be used by our enemies. But the mission in Libya, the mission in Benghazi is done. There is nothing to protect. And so there's a lot of narratives going around that Ambassador Stevens was actually trying to facilitate the movement of leftover Gaddafi weapons and materiel to the Syrian resistance, and that there was a Turkish ship in Tripoli that was tied up to receive those shipments, and that the attack on Benghazi was an effort by those people in the world who want to support the Syrian regime to sort of break up that support to the Syrian resistance. There's also talk of a detention center run by the CIA. And so we'll see. That's been denied by the CIA. But frankly, even in my own lifetime, many things denied by the CIA have turned out to be true.
All right. Boy, that's a big statement. Because it appears to me that even if this is a botched up security issue, for some reason the administration is not wanting to even humble themselves and say, hey, all right, we made mistakes, and yes, 4 Americans died and we're sick about it. And perhaps, we can learn from this and move on. But there seems to be that there's something else they don't want us to know. And is that being held over Petraeus before his resignation?
Well, speaking of, as someone who's sort of raised in a Boston Irish Catholic political tradition, I can tell you that the last thing Obama wanted was for Petraeus to be off the payroll. In a situation like this, where there's somebody like Petraeus who could say things that could hurt you politically, you want to keep him on the payroll, you want to keep him on the team. You saw at the press conference yesterday that Obama went out of his way to say sweet, wonderful things about General Petraeus. Petraeus is now liberated from the Obama administration, and he can say whatever he'd like. He's already lost his job, and his reputation is in tatters. So all he has left is the chance to set the record straight. And that's very dangerous to the Obama administration, because obviously they're holding back something.
All right. Now, yesterday we watched the president pretty much explode over the Ambassador Rice question. And he really went to her defense and then basically said to Senator McCain and Graham, come after me, don't go after her. Okay, so... And she was there. He said it. She was there on the direction of the White House. So
sure.
she goes out there, and she was operating with the intelligence that she had. Well, who gave her that intelligence?
Right. It's a very interesting. That the speculation here in D.C. is that Hillary Clinton was initially chosen by the administration to go forward, and she declined that opportunity. Susan Rice is the ambassador to the United Nations. She has no operational role.
Yeah.
She was obviously given a script. I've seen all 5 of her appearances on those Sunday shows, and she is reading from a script. And when she was asked any of these questions, she gave exactly the same answer about a spontaneous demonstration that went out of control. The other thing I want to point out is that Susan Rice, she is a very active player in the rough and tumble of politics. As an advisor to the Obama campaign in 2008, she was downright nasty and insulting repeatedly to John McCain, and she was sort of the hired gun whenever John McCain was coming out with a statement on Iraq or Afghanistan or foreign policy. She was the one in the Obama campaign who would sort of knock him down. And so there's some bad blood between her and McCain that I'm sure is part of his wanting to keep her from being Secretary of State.
But Neil, why is
Sure.
the ambassador of the UN making intelligent statements to the United States? I mean, why is she the spokesperson of an intelligent and what seems to be a military mistake? I mean, how far down the pecking order do you pick the ambassador of the UN to go out and speak on behalf of the administration on some kind of a national security issue?
Well, I mean, to be fair to Ambassador Rice, I mean, she is somebody who served, in the State Department under the Clinton administration. The ambassador to the United Nations is a cabinet-level position,
Right.
And so she is seen as a spokesman for the United States. But I mean, really, she had no place. She had no operational knowledge.
Right.
She's not what we'd call in journalism a subject matter expert. Basically, Hillary Clinton was supposed to do it, but Hillary Clinton basically handed the grenade to Rice, and she was the good soldier and went on those shows and read the script.
Wow. All right, I want to come back to, you have any idea from your position what the administration is trying to hide?
I think that just as a matter of course, that this administration hides things that has no business hiding, and there's no reason to hide it. We still don't really know what happened with Solyndra. We still don't know what happened with Fast and Furious. I mean, there are things they have no reason to hide the truth, and they will hide the truth. I am interested about these narratives of a CIA detention facility or interrogations going on at Benghazi. I'd be very interested to see what Ambassador Stevens' actual role was in Libya and whether he actually was trying to facilitate the shipment of weapons, leftover Gaddafi weapons, to the Syrian resistance with the cooperation of the Turks. So, I mean, these are things that that we have a right to know. I'd also like to know about that 7 hours where apparently our people were asking for help and they were ignored.
Right.
We do know that there were special forces and special operations people who were in position to jump off, both from Egypt and from Italy, to give some kind of rescue. What happened? We should know by now.
All right, one last question before I let you go.
Sure.
Do you think Petraeus will be brought up on any charges?
I doubt it.
Okay. Military or CI or otherwise, I mean,
He's,
FBI, no investigation.
Maybe I'm speaking as an enlisted Joe, but I would be stunned if a 4-star got in trouble for anything.
Okay. Hey, Neil, you're a delight. Thanks for your insight and your passion, and look forward to talking to you many times in the future.
Great, good to be with you.
All right, God bless you.